we are going to look at the methods or medium of communication in this video. The methods of communication include, like they are four. We have oral communication, written communication, visual communication, and then nonverbal. However, the main methods of communication are oral, written, and nonverbal communication. There are mainly three, but in general they are four. So in this video we shall start by looking at oral communication. Oral, it is something by word of mouth, like you speak it out, and that is oral communication. So oral communication, it includes speaking to another person, or communication by word of mouth, and that is communication, like you communicate by speaking. If you want something, you say it out. If you want to communicate something, you speak it out. That is oral communication. So oral communication requires selectively selecting appropriate words to use, like when you're speaking, because it's the words that bring out the meaning that you are trying to bring out. So in order for you to communicate properly, you're supposed to select the words properly, the words that you're supposed to use in your speech. So let's look at the forms or channels of oral communication. First is over the telephone. You can communicate over the telephone by speaking by word of mouth, like you call the other person and then you talk. You communicate to each other. Then face to face, you can communicate like by talking to someone face to face, by jazzing. Then through discussions, like group discussions. There is debates, interviews, presentations, meetings, which can be either formal or informal. Then teleconferencing, you have a conference over the phone. Then video conferencing. So those are some of the forms or channels of oral communication, like forms of how people can communicate by word of mouth, over the phone, face-to-face discussion, debates, interviews, presentations, meetings, teleconferencing, video conferencing, and very many others. You can feel free to add as long as you feel like it is a form of oral communication. And the success of verbal communication or oral communication depends on one's ability to listen carefully. So oral communication requires listening. If you do not listen, you will not understand the message that is communicated. So the success of verbal communication depends on one's ability to listen carefully. Then let's look at the characteristics of oral communication. First is that it is interactive. When you communicate to someone by word of mouth, like you can easily exchange jazz and it becomes interesting. Like you can easily interact with someone. If you just like face to face in an interview, there is flow of information, so it is interactive. Then non-restricted audience, like if you're communicating like by word of mouth, your audience is not restricted. Let me say if you're a pastor preaching on the roadside, anyone can listen to your information, like your audience is not restricted. Then it can be done at any time and at any place. You can communicate by word of mouth at any time and at any place. Then immediate feedback, like you get response there and then.